We are live, baby. We are live. Let's get it rocking and rolling, guys. Smash those likes. Tap that screen there. Bam, 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 bam,
Smash it
bam.
up.
Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, bro. Yeah, no worries,
Look at
dude.
that
Take your
Ondo.
time. Dude, we're going to be talking about Ondo today just for the simple fact of how hard it's been pumping because of the real world asset. That video I was making earlier today with
I don't even know what Ondo is, dude. I've never heard of
dude,
this.
Ondo is let me actually break it up here for you guys. You guys don't know what Ondo is. That's actually a great question, CVO. So Ondo is semi-tied to the real-world asset and institutional play. It's a it's created by Coinbase, I believe, or by some developers tied to Coinbase. So Ondo's up 26% just
It's
today.
tied to Coinbase.
Yeah, it's like tied to their well, we're gonna jump over to their website here real quick. The Ondo Foundation, new era of financial exclusivity on chain, right? So their whole mission is to bring real world assets and institutional grade financial products and services. They're obviously they've been featured in some places, but where is it? It's like the leading DeFi protocol supporting tokenized RWAs, which are real world assets governed by their own DAO, and they're partnered with the well, this is their ecosystem. BlackRock is part of their ecosystem because they hold some stuff for BlackRock, Polygon, Injective, and BlackRock announced today that they are going to be doing a tokenized fund. They have like $5 million ready to rock and roll on that on the Ethereum blockchain.
Okay.
So I forget where the connection to Coinbase comes from, but it is there somewhere. And general, just institutional money. There's a lot of projects with institution. All right, they're here. It is Coinbase. They're attached to Coinbase right here. They're one of their partners. You see, crypto native partners with service providers. Coinbase. There it is. I actually missed that earlier. So that's what it is. And we saw the video with Buildo, right? Their new asset fund ticker that they're releasing, BlackRock, and real world assets is the next narrative. Right? I've been saying for a while now that AI's narrative is going to eventually cool off and start moving towards something else. And just in general, in crypto, we see narratives like waves. They come and go in different times of the market. AI seems like it's been taking a cool off earlier in November and November and December last year. We were seeing crypto gaming pop off when that first initial run started in October,
Yeah.
and then that's cooled off. Then AI took over. It's been running for the last like 3 months nonstop, and now I think AI is going to cool off for a bit here, and now we're seeing real world asset stuff, especially with this BlackRock thing, and whatever BlackRock puts money in is money, right? So
Right.
that's why we're seeing Ondo pump, and we're seeing that news with the ETF for Ethereum possibly being delayed because now they're being investigated. My whole theory on that is they're being delayed because BlackRock and these institutions want to continue building with this because they just announced right that they're launching a tokenized fund on Ethereum, but yet Ethereum is being put as a security when we already know that it's technically not a security, and they're just delaying the fact that if they don't have an excuse to delay Ethereum's ETF approval in May, which is coming up here pretty quick, they had to. They also think delayed Van Eyck's decision was earlier than May, so that being pushed back gives them more time to prepare, build out more of their infrastructure, whatever it is that they're going to do with their tokenized assets. So then when they finally launch that Ethereum ETF, it's just skyrocket situation, kind of like how we saw with Bitcoin. What are your thoughts? Do you think if we see an Ethereum ETF, are we going to see something like Bitcoin pop off, and or you think it's not going to be the same kind of scenario? Like you see a difference between Bitcoin and
It's tough
Ethereum?
to say, man. Like that was a big, impulse move that we, actually got. We see like $49,000 Bitcoin, and then we got to pull back initially like 20%, which was just like a normal run of
Yep.
the mill pullback, like we might end up seeing now. Um, the thing, some people like to point out that the ETFs allow a lot. Obviously, it's like more obvious inflow of capital can come into those assets because if you have large money, to deploy, like most people do not put, big money into even Coinbase because it's like there's no insurance, and even if they
Yep.
say they're FDIC potentially insured for like 150K, like that's what's 150K to someone with millions, right? So,
Yeah.
um, Yeah, I mean, I think that that'll definitely be a narrative that goes along with a push higher in Ethereum. I think that also, just like Bitcoin, right before that ETF got launched, all the tomfoolery, I guess is what I'll call it. Like, it was always kind of blamed to that. So, for me, I'm looking for a potential pullback in Ethereum, down to like even like 2,500. So maybe it goes like 2,500 to 3K, which we were at 3K pretty much 2 days ago. But if we get like a sharp pullback or something like that, these new news launches here where it's like this could be possibly investigated as a security and all this like could
It's
like
all part of that
cause like so
whole.
like could be added to that, and yeah, like
Mhm.
maybe come May you get the ETF launch, and then yeah you had this huge pullback potentially, and then you're off to the races for ETH, which is new all-time highs for Ethereum at this point would almost be anticipated, right? Like we've seen
What
it out
was
of
the
Bitcoin.
what was the all time high for Ethereum last
48
time?
and
Forty
change.
eight
Yeah,
hundred.
4800. Yeah. So
Okay,
I
so
mean,
we're
we're
pretty
only chilling
close.
at we got the 44,000, 4,100 maybe.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that would be. I got the comments here if you want to.
All right, perfect, perfect. Yes, guys. BlackRock is launching a crypto. I don't know if BlackRock is launching a
I think they were
crypto.
asking you that because it sounded like
Um,
when they might have joined us when you
yeah,
were
yeah.
talking about BlackRock and everything like that.
So no, they're not that I know of. They're not launching a crypto. What they're doing is they're creating a fund where they're holding real world assets, and they're going to be tokenizing those real world assets and putting it on the Ethereum blockchain. And I believe Ondo is a ERC20 token that is built on Ethereum. I could be mistaken, but I think they are. And Ondo is tied in with BlackRock with Coinbase. We just pulled it up here on the screen over on YouTube and showed the partnerships that they have. So that's why Ondo's pumping, and then all that news is coming out that their ticker for their fund, right, which is on the stock market,
Right.
not in crypto, is literally sit. Wow, perfect, bro, perfect. Did your take profit hit?
I'm gonna check now.
Yeah, take those bags, bro.
Yeah.
Take those bags. There you go. Let's freaking go, bro. Our boy right here just hit their take profit perfectly on this trade, making money. Ralph streaming. Let me
While
tell you,
streaming, baby.
Ralph streaming.
Didn't mean to interrupt you.
So yeah, they're not launching their own crypto. Not that I know of, not just yet. So guys, smash those likes, hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Keep taking those likes, guys. If you want some exclusive live action, stream only sessions, definitely there's a subscription base somewhere around here. You can hit that subscribe, and I will be doing one weekly session, one episode of just straight up TikTok only for you guys personally, one-on-one questionnaire. So definitely go check that out if you haven't already. But over here as well, we're seeing Caspa also up 9.9% today. Caspa, if you guys don't know, is one of the best proof of work tokens out there outside of Bitcoin. It's basically its whole mission is to be what Bitcoin was, right? A peer-to-peer transactional proof of work token. So they're taking that on. The mining on Caspa is extremely, extremely profitable, way more profitable than Bitcoin. I believe the machines are making like $50 a day or something like that of profit, something ridiculous like that. But the machines are cost like $16,000 a piece, so there's no small change to get into Casper mining, and overall, that's a good proof of work crypto that's been holding up here. Sui is up 10.2%. Another institutional crypto here. Not a lot else happening in the daily market. It looks like the meme coins have been taking a bit of a breather here on the day today. On the month, obviously that's very different, right? On the month, we still have Pepe up 563%, with Hat up 529, Floki up 524, Gala is up 104. Oh, geez, Louise. Gala is up 103%. Dude, you were talking about Gala. You had a chart and you mentioned something about how Gala is in price recovery from the massive range that was in. Please let cover that.
Yeah, so it was a huge range that pretty much all the altcoins or even half the market at some point has been in at some point. We saw some really big breakouts like on Theta a couple weeks back with like just 200% rally, maybe even more now. I think it's like even climbed up to like $4. And Chainlink had the same type of range. So Gala had a similar setup. I was looking for a break above 4 cents, and then at that point, I was looking, pretty much for it to not look back. We had like 100% rally, once we got above that level. Obviously, we've got a pullback so far. It might even be back almost to 4 cents, but yeah, I'm anticipating a really big move out of Gala. Like up to like potentially like in a sense of recovery. I don't know the
Yeah,
exact high of what it was or what it can go to, but like 30 cents,
let's go.
33 cents. That's something that I can see it getting back to in the coming months potentially.
Let's check out Gala here for a second,
I
because
think it's
I
at
don't
6 cents
remember.
almost. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost at 6 cents. I don't remember what its all-time high
It was
was.
probably like 50, 60 ish if I am remembering ish. Because even if we go back to 30 cents, it was like that's like the 382 retrace. So yeah, you're talking like it probably was up to almost a dollar at that point. Getting that lag, huh?
Yeah, bro, it's taking me a minute to join in here. All right, so all-time high back in 2021 was
70.
about 75 cents. About 75 cents. So sitting at like a freaking $4.7 billion market cap, 74 cents, give or take, on November 25th of 2021. We're currently sitting at 1.7 mil market cap already, but obviously the market cap is way higher now because there's been massive inflation of the token throughout this time since 2021. As we see bigger inflows, right? You can see the market cap, so you can't go based off, well, if we reach back to 4.7 mil, right, we're going to have this massive stuff. There's a lot more inflation, so it is going to be a bigger struggle to get back to that all-time high. Maybe we don't even hit a new all-time high, because I need to recheck what the numbers are on their inflation, but their inflation is pretty bad because their tokenomics really did kind of suck. So unless they fix that up and make some type of burning mechanism and start burning some of the Gala tokens to fix their inflation rate, uh, we might not see an all-time high. Like, I'm not saying that we won't, but I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't. There's definitely ways to check that out. I just don't have that pulled up right now. I'm not gonna dive into
Yeah,
that.
that's a really good point though too. Like a lot of projects from even 2017. When that
Hmm.
was like kind of when I got in, and a lot of them never made it back to the all-time highs. And this is years later. They're all still like moving well, but it's like you're not getting past those levels. And then last it would be nothing, I guess, to see something similar like Gala's of 2021 type of bull run coin, I guess. For that not to see an all-time high or something, like all these coins are down like 90%. They'd have to all like 10, what, 10, 20, 30x some of them to get back to those highs. Maybe they
Yeah,
don't, but maybe they still see a 20x pump, which is
yeah,
definitely
yeah,
something to
for sure.
not to take to the bank there.
Guys, so if you want to be, we're going to talk that where somebody just asked more chop, or are we headed back up? We're going to be answering that here in just a minute. I got the chart pulled up over here on YouTube, but you guys will not be able to see the chart over there on TikTok. So if you guys want to come over to YouTube, hit that subscribe, do that as well, because you never know, right? TikTok might get banned, might get disappear. But so Bitcoin's been chopping, right? We came down to 61,000, which was my point of control here. I know this my chart looks very different from your chart, but based off my chart, we know we came back into this monthly range here that's based off of 2022 price action. I forget what month it's from, but we basically have come to this point of control twice now and have wicked back above it. We swung fail, right? Swung fail this price, this point of control here yesterday. I'm learning. I'm learning here. I'm learning from the master, right? Uh, this is, by the way, guys, if you guys haven't recognized, this is the guy I've talked about that I learned my TA from and my charting skills. So if you want to join his Discord, there's a link in my bio to my link tree to his Discord. He is closing off his Discord April 1st. No more new members. So if you want to learn how to trade, you want to take that skill on, definitely go check that out. So
Too
over
kind.
here, yeah,
Too kind.
yeah, bro, go definitely do that. It's worth the value. It's the course that I've taken, and it's literally changed the whole way I look at crypto. But overall, Bitcoin's chopping up here. I do think that we can range between, like you said, 69,000, which is the previous year of 2021 high, all the way down to the 63,000, which is the value area high of this range. It's held support here in the past. Obviously, we broke that support recently, but we pumped right back above it. So it's doing something here. How much more chop do you see here? What do you foresee for Bitcoin? Choppiness, or are we making a move one way or the other right now?
If I'm honest, and it's the thing, right? Like it's one of those things you have to adjust as we go. But I would say it's probably more chop and down.
Choppiness to the downside.
Yeah, like chop. I mean, well, so for me, like I'm looking at, we just came down. So I took a short today at 60, just about 68,000. Um, the reason being just technical setup, right?
Yeah,
Again, I was looking for a pullback to the previous week low. So, and that for anybody that's not looking, it was at 64,550, which we just hit while we're on the stream right now, right? So, if in a sense, we broke out and we just came back and kind of back tested our previous week low. So we're back in like last week's little price action, which is good. Um, for me, it's the previous all time high is still a major level right now. If you pull like a fib gold pocket too to like kind of showcase that, if we get a bounce to the upside right here,
we want to fib from the top to
from
the
the top to
bottom,
the bottom, maybe make it clap.
make that magnet on, or no magnet.
Whatever. Yeah, you can see you got the gold pocket comes in right at like the 69. basically the previous all-time high from 2021.
Yeah.
So I can see a bounce from where we are now, coming up to that 69, and like we see the altcoins every time Bitcoin's getting these bounces, you get a really big breather out of the alts. You're getting like 20 and 30% moves out of some of them. Um, but overall, until we get above that all-time high, it's really just kind of choppy sideways action. And so far, we're in a potential downtrend now, and I'm just saying short-term stuff. Um, and I'm seeing like a pullback to like 55 to 51. I know that that sounds a little crazy to most at the moment, and I'm not married to it. I'm not like, oh, I sold all my bags here and I'm waiting for that. But if I had fresh, powder on the side, or if I'm looking for a fresh entry, I'm looking for 51.8 on Bitcoin to 56. And reason being, um, when you pull up last month, February, the range as far as based on volume, we left a naked point of control, so it's just a volume target. It's not necessarily an end all be all, but it is something that kind of aligns with a couple other things. It's right down at 51,800. If you also pull a macro, so from the like current low at 15K all the way to 74K high, generally, I know I always bring up the gold pocket or like
Yeah.
whatever zero point 0.5 and stuff like that. But when looking at Fibonacci retracement levels, you'll notice that the 0.382 is also a major area that when you have a strong trend, so up or down, you get these retracements. So if you're in a downtrend and you get a little push up, a lot of times you're retracing to the upside and you come up to the 0.382. You front run the zero point 0.5 and the 618, the gold pocket and all, and then you continue and you get continuation. Oh, what's up, man? um, Same thing, to this aspect is that we've had this huge rally to the upside, and I can't show it necessarily right here, but basically from like 15K to like I'd say 30K or 15K to 15K to 30K, let's just say you had a run up and we had a pullback, and it was right to, if you would have put a fib on that, it was to the 382 retracement, and that's generally where you get continuation. Then if you were to pull a fib from that pullback time at like August or October to the $50,000 49K, ETF launch and all that, if you pull the fib at that level as well, when we retrace back to 38,500, that was the 382. So once again, strong trend.
Sorry
Go
to
ahead.
interrupt. Somebody saying, want to learn how to trade? What is your Discord? The link is in the bio, guys. Wherever the bio link is, go into my profile. There's a link tree link there. Hit that, and you'll see the Discord for him, and go sign up on that. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah. So, anyways, like from 15K to 30K, we pulled back to the 382. From that level, I don't know where it is top of my head, to 49K, we pulled back to the 382, which would, and this is like once again, it's not like it has to happen, but just I'm putting a
Yeah.
little confluence on an area I'm bringing up. So we pulled back from 49 to 38.5, which was like in January, right? ETF get launched, whatever. Pulled back to the 382. So now if you take a fib from the very low at 15,000 to 74, the 382 is right at 51,800. The February naked point of control I just brought up is right at 51,800. There's a untapped weekly level of support down there at 51,800. And then before that is an untapped average of price for the month of March, which is at 56. So like once again,
Dude,
that's just like that little box area.
it's
If I
crazy
had to
that
throw out
you
any like
you
simple.
hit everybody with like a million different reasons why we're going there,
Right.
right?
Well, I don't know.
And
It's not why we're going.
well,
I'm
no,
just
I'm
saying
saying
like
if we
if we
do,
do, that's where I'd be looking
but
at.
it's funny because I have been talking about 55, 56,000 as well, right? For the simple reason of if we jump out here to the daily, if we lose this point of control, right, which is sitting on 61,198, we've wicked down here multiple times and we've bounced off of it. But if we do at some point come right back down to this point of control here by this red line and we lose 61,268, the next target, which is the value area low for that range, is sitting at 55 to 56,000, right? Which when we broke into this range, as you can see back here, back in late February, we broke into it. We just printed three massive green candles to the upside, just pumping straight up all the way up to the value area high of this range of 63,000. We were there for 3 days. We ranged between the value area high and the point of control of 61,000, and then we blasted off to new all-time highs. So that is the reason why I've been looking for 55, 56 if we lose 61. But I'm glad that you're bringing up a bunch of other different reasons and possibilities on why we could see that price point, right? Nothing's guaranteed. There's no way to, nobody has a crystal ball here to say this is for sure going to happen. But if it did, these are the reasons why we wouldn't be surprised if it did, right? Uh, Is Coinbase down? I'm not sure if Coinbase is down, right? If Coinbase is down right now, this is a quick little lesson for everybody that's new in crypto. Do not hold any of your crypto on centralized exchanges. Make sure you're holding self custody of your crypto, whether it's on a MetaMask, preferably cold storage, right? And actually be your own bank. If you're holding things in Coinbase or any centralized exchange, Binance, whatever other centralized exchanges out there, Mexi, whatever, any of these exchanges can go and shut down at any moment, lock up, whatever. And you think, well, just like my bank account, right? If a bank has a problem, well, they'll be back on eventually and my money's safe there. No, guys, these are not FDIC insured companies. And even the banks that are FDIC insured, it's only up to 250K. If you got anything more than that, you might not even ever get that back. But long story short here is do not treat these centralized exchanges like they're your bank accounts because they are not your bank accounts and they will take your money if they go under or anything like that. So be your own bank. That's what crypto's about. Being your own bank. So self custody is very, very important. You can do pretty much anything you can on centralized exchanges on these dexes. There's dexes, right, which is a decentralized exchange on basically almost every single exchange. We have Solana, we have Ethereum, we have Uniswap for Ethereum, we have Solana's that has like three different dexes. Avax has got like two different dexes right now, and many other. Phantom's got its own dex. Spooky Swap. We've got all these dexes for all these different cryptos. Yeah, Spooky Swap. Phantom was a huge performer last bull market, and this time back around is up 150% this month alone. Um, I don't know if Phantom's gonna make it back. There was a lot of fun with Phantom. Any good questions coming up that you want to bring up?
I think Phantom was the only one.
Yeah, Phantom, right, was a huge performer last bull market, and I've been fading Phantom for a bit here. I'm getting a little bit of FOMO because it's at 150%, and I was like, man, I thought the founders had left the project, and then somebody on my live was telling me that they had came back, and that I've been looking up on their Twitter, been looking up on what they've been doing. Apparently, they've got a bunch of development going on for Phantom, and Phantom, if you guys did not know, has the same technology as HBAR, right? HBAR is all about like, oh, we're super fast and super decentralized or whatever, whatever, because they've got some hash DAG or whatever it is that they use, whatever, I forget what it is. Phantom has got basically the same exact replica technology without the council elites of 13 or whatever it is that runs that runs them. So Phantom, I like that for that reason. So I'm definitely keeping an eye on Phantom and doing some more research to see if the devs are truly back or the founders are truly back on it because I think it could be a big performer again. Obviously, I don't know, but I've been listening to you guys in the chat. You guys always have alpha. You guys have more alpha than I do most of the time because you guys are scouring through all these different cryptos, and I'm just catching up. Right, I can only focus.
Crusading.
Yeah, yeah, exactly right. You guys are crusading through the blockchains because you guys are all blockchain crusaders when you guys are on this channel. So make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe if you haven't already. All right. Near Protocol up 88% this week. I've heard you talk a lot about Near. A lot of people watching are always asking me about Near. What is going on with Near? Where do you see, right? We're down 17.3% on the week with Near, 5.3% today alone. Like I said, today in general has been kind of a red day. We started off kind of green in the morning and then have been cooling off throughout the rest of the day. What do you got for the people when it comes to Near Protocol? Is it near all time highs? Or is it near all time
It
lows?
is not near all time lows. I don't think so. I think it's still got like 100% to go. So near is one that I personally had been trading even back in the all time high time frame in like 2021, and then if you pulled up that chart,
Which one? The near chart?
yeah, you could just see like I mean it was pretty flat for quite a while. I mean this is like I guess I guess not terrible, just pretty much ever since like the FTX collapse. So had some bounces along the way, but got down to like $1 for quite some time. And
What are you looking at? The weekly? The
yeah, just
daily?
whatever the largest you could kind of look at. Yeah, there you go. So you can kind of see like it just completely flat. Uh, it's it's really reminiscent of like a Solana or a Cardano right now, especially with the way it's just kind of recovered. It didn't necessarily have all the negativity behind it, like you saw it like Cardano back in the bear market of like
Yep.
2018. Like Solana and Cardano were like the same kind of negative connotation, I guess, like of it. Like everybody hated it, everybody like dumped it at the lows. Everybody you could not catch a positive comment about Solana at $8. And
Yep.
the same way about Cardano at 3 cents. And then now everybody is just jumping, obviously jumping for joy and all about it. And then there's ETFs coming in, whatever. Near is like a
Near has 644 days of ranging at
yeah,
these like crazy lows,
and I think it's just kind of like a
below 40, below $4.
an undercover assassin, man. Like it's kind of I'm trying to think of something to compare it to, but I guess yeah, it's just it's got the same similar situation. You're kind of in like a price recovery. You can almost kind of see this high over here, which you're kind of like pushing up above, and maybe kind of
Yep.
living above at the moment. And yeah, I think that we kind of there's a lot of upside. I think for near. I not set out my next targets. I'm looking at obviously just back into the highs essentially, but it's there's a $14 area, $16 area. But I could see near pushing into some new highs at some point, and you never know where that's going to go at that level. But um, also something that's up like 800%, 600%, like you said right now. So it's always tough to kind of come into those. So you just kind of have to be understanding of that. But then you have something like Solana that pushed up from $8 and has not really looked back. So it just depends on your
Yeah, dude.
investing strategy on what you want to get into.
Look at some of your perfect TA here coming into for the win. Look at this. Like we broke out of this local high here that you said, right? This $5.57, and we ran up to $9. And what does that $9 take us to? That's right. The value area low of this massive range here that we were in from October all the way to about May 2022. So for from 2021, October 2021 to May 2022, multi months, right? We're talking about almost 3 quarters of just ranging. We come right to the value area low, tap it at like about $8 and some change, about $9, got rejected from there, and now we're coming back to this local tie of $5.64, possibly gonna retest that level. We are overbought on Chart Prime, Market Cipher, VWAP, money flow coming down as well. So it's perfect rejection of this value area low from this massive range, and then potential, could we potentially range within here for a bit, right? Maybe if we break below this all-time high, not the all-time high, this local high of $5 and some change, all right, then it might not be looking for too good for near in the near term. But if we break above this $9 section here and enter this range, we could be nearing closer to that higher levels of all-time highs. All-time high is somewhere around, I believe, what, $20,
Yeah, oh yeah, above 20 looks
like 20 and some change.
right at 20 basically, 28.
Yeah, we're sitting about halfway. We're almost half. Well, we're at $6 right now. Sorry, but if we enter this range, we'd be almost there. About $10, $9 some change. Point of control for that range would be $11.21. If we hold that and pump back up, the value area high target for that is $15.89. Right. My TA is very basic, very straightforward. But everything I've learned is from this guy. And this guy's got a million other targets on his chart and reasons why we're going to these different levels.
Cocky in you, dude. What a name.
Cock a doo to do. Baka baka bak to everybody out there holding your bag of cocks.
What is
uh,
somebody asked for ALCX?
A what?
I think ALCX.
Oh, LCX, right. LCX is an exchange. I have been covering that one here quite a bit. So I'll pull up my chart here real quick on it. It's not looking too good for LCX, I think, right now in the near term. Yeah. Oh, no, we're still there. We're still okay. So this thing is a bit of a mess here. Right, we got some downward trends, some upward trends. We broke all of that, but none of that is relevant anymore. So long story short here, I've been telling you guys that this critical bottom level of 23 cents is, critical to be held. If we lose that, we're probably headed down to 20 cents, which is the value area high of this previous range back here. And we almost wicked to it in the last big dip on February 18th when Bitcoin had a big dip. But outside of that, we've just been ranging, range bound, range bound, range bound, not being able to reclaim 28 cents, consecutively getting rejected at 28 cents. So 23 cents is the last level here of support. We're building a lot of support here, but if we lose this and we start heading down, 20 cents is the future for this thing, right? Chart Prime's kind of like circling back up. Market Cipher's printing a green dot, also circling momentum way back up. Money flow and VWAP are pretty much neutral, trying to make a decision. If the market in general has a recovery, we could see um, LCX trying to have a big recovery here. And LCX is an exchange token from a
Oh, I remember.
where is it? It's out in Europe in Liechtenstein, something. It's like a small country out there in like Sweden or wherever it is that has like a ton of economical capital. They're like a huge investing country, even though they're a very small country. And apparently they're working. They create an exchange, and they're like they got all the regulatory, see through, and they're regulated and all this stuff. And Europe doesn't really have any massive regulations on exchanges just yet. So this is like the safe play, right? The play where most possible Europeans are going to be heading into. But we will see if that plays out. It's had a massive run here. It's topped out, right? Exchange tokens and DEX tokens don't move, right? And they're not sexy investments, but when they move, they feel the rhythm, baby. So we'll see if this has another leg up. The bull market, I believe, is still very young. It definitely should have another chance. We've seen some other DEX tokens popping off here in the short term. We saw Joe token just recently break above $1.20. Now we're back down about 80 cents. And there's been a few other dexes tokens have been popping off. PNG's been another one. There's a Uniswap is up 57% this week alone. So overall, DEX tokens and exchange tokens. I think Crypto.com. If you have a chart for Crypto.com, because I think Crypto.com is super underrated. They're the only other big exchange here in the United States that have like regulation and all this stuff, and they did massive marketing with UFC, and they have a Crypto.com arena, right?
That's
uh,
true.
so they do have massive marketing dollars, and they've got the name, right? The best branded name, Crypto.com. So I think I have a price prediction out there for Crypto.com on my YouTube. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. But I think Crypto.com is underrated. People are fading Crypto.com right now. What do you see for Crypto.com? Crow, aka Kronos.
Chronos.
Yeah, they rebranded their chain
Yeah.
from Crow or Crypto.com to Kronos.
It's kind of got the same setup as like Near when looking at it. It's kind of got that breakout of like all that huge range essentially that all that accumulation that it had.
Oh, let me pull it
Back
up.
testing it back down to like 10, 12 cents, so pretty much like right under where we are. And honestly, dude, I mean, if we crack higher here, I think it's like I think the 382 as far as it would be the area I'd look to, which is like 40 cents above us. Um, in potential coming months here.
Hold on, let me get this thing on Binance or something where it has more trading.
Looks like Bitcoin.
Like Gonyo.
Yeah, crypto.com,
Crow.
man. What a that was like literally one of the biggest biggest news, type of things back in 2021 was when they got the Staples Stadium. Um, they had all kinds of stuff going on, man. They had that credit card. I don't know if that's still a thing or
I think it still is might be a thing. But look at this thing, it's just been
yeah,
so
pretty flat.
flat for so freaking long. It's like even hard to just pull up. We're had to pull it up on the weekly here. Um, Look at this. Let's just measure this out here from this last big dump in November 2022. 483 days under the price of 11 cents for 483 days. Massive consolidation down there. We haven't been up here. We haven't been above 15 cents since November 2020. Since August 2022. We haven't been above 15 cents. We finally got back above that here. As you can see here, look at this trend line, not this trend line, but this local little high. We finally got back above that. Could not hold it and instantly fell right back down, heading towards this other potential local high here as well.
Mark Frazier says the crypto.com is really big in Australia. He said so.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, it's big here too. I think I know that many people do use it. It's just like not thought of right away. I feel like Coinbase takes it's like it really is like Apple and Android or like gold versus silver. It's like you think
Yep.
of like crypto, you think of Coinbase right away. At least to me, maybe I'm wrong, but that's like my
Yeah, that's where the big, that's where everyone goes to, is goes to Coinbase,
they
even
got
though
like
they got the
Gemini
name.
still, like which is an option that I feel like nobody thinks of at
Is
all.
that for retail?
Yeah,
Gemini is for retail. They have a retail application.
they did in the past, like when it first came out. It was I haven't used it
I
personally, but
always thought they were just institutional.
no, yeah, they had a at least I have to check it out, but they don't have a coin.
Yeah.
Crypto.com is a coin and like
Yep.
something you can invest in. Gemini doesn't, so um, at least from what I think.
Yeah, and BNB was a banger last bull market, right? They went from like $30 to 600 something dollars, like something crazy
It
like
was like
that.
$7 to begin with. It was really
It was $7 at the beginning of the last bull market. Jeez Louise, bro. So I think Crypto.com and Coinbase, they don't have a token, but they got a chain base. I think it's only a matter of time. If they get enough regulation, they're probably going to launch a token on base. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I think that I'd be surprised if they didn't. Um, but all these exchanges and their exchange tokens perform pretty well as you see higher and higher demand for the exchanges themselves, especially as they start building out DeFi protocols and all these things on there. And talking about DeFi, another thing that we're going to be talking about here is we're just talking about base now, so it's a perfect transition to it. It's basically Arrow. So Aerodrome Finance is a base chain crypto, and it's a DeFi play on Base. If you guys, I see a lot of people talking about Base meme coins, but outside of the meme coins, there's actual utility on Base, and it's called Aerodrome. It's up 872% this freaking month, dude. This thing has been ripping like a monster. It's sitting at 87 cents. It's up 18% of the week, 5.2% of the day. A lot of people don't talk about this. Market cap is only 134 mil. I got in on this thing around 49 to 50 cents. That's when people started talking. That's when I started going live and people started talking about it. And I took a look at it, and it's been doing pretty well since then. Uh, but yeah, DeFi is another narrative, right? We talked about real world assets here at the beginning of the live, how we're shifting away from the AI narrative, and we're that's taking a break here, and we're possibly seeing some new narratives take place, which are uh, um, real world assets. We were talking about BlackRock and their Buildo ticker, right? That's how you say that, Buildo with the L at the end. It's like build, but build L, Biddle, you know, yeah, it's like hodl, but like it's Buildo. Um, and how they're trying to build that out. Real world assets are going to take a chance here to run, and that's why we saw Ondo pump. But DeFi is a cornerstone of crypto, decentralized finance, staking, borrowing, and lending. You know, providing liquidity, yield farming. All these things are a cornerstone of decentralized finance, which is the main goal of crypto in the long term. DeFi is something that most people are not talking about. They still have postpartum syndrome from when Terra Luna collapsed in the last bull market, or I should say in the last bear market, and people are not talking about DeFi, but DeFi is definitely going to make a play back. So that's why I personally hold Arrow, because I'm trying to pick out different DeFi players on different blockchains. Right, we have Aave and Compound on Ethereum, we have Arrow on Base, we have Benki on Avax, which is another borrow and lending platform, as well for DeFi. There's a lot of different DeFi plays out there. There's some on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's never had an ecosystem, so I believe DeFi on Bitcoin is going to be very good as well long term. But let's see here. Let's see what else we've got pumping here in the last month. So
Bobcat.
we got what?
What is Bobcat?
Bobcat? Where do you see
Pop.
that? Oh,
Right where you're
Popcat. Oh, dude, this thing's huge. A
at.
thousand seven hundred. I was like,
1,800%,
I
right?
was looking at all the small bubbles. I have no idea what this is. Probably some crazy meme coin on Solana or something. So Solana meme coins are just a frenzy right now. So when you look to trade for something, right? When you're looking for trades, are you looking at market cap? Are you looking at trading volume on these different cryptos? Do you target like certain blockchains? Like, all right, Solana's blockchain, or their ecosystem's popping right now, so I'm going to be looking for a Solana trade. How do you decide that? Or are you just very general? Just
there's there's just times when like it's like yeah like as far as trading goes actively I always say this like my person like I tend to only like day trade if I'm going to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Just in my I just know how those and I don't know how they're gonna flow I guess but I can build those out and I have like a certain edge I've acquired with it and I just like looked at the Ethereum chart specifically for like
yeah,
every single day. When looking for like to get something like when we're looking at altcoins, you're not looking at day trading altcoin, obviously. Like you're
yeah,
looking for like holding, you're gonna everybody wants to 10x and all that stuff. When I'm looking for something that I'm gonna anticipate a big move on or like to get like a decent swing trade in on, I will look at whatever's moving as far as volume does go, and kind of I look at like what exchanges like back in the day, Bybit was a really good at like showcase of that, or Binance, like whatever's like got a lot of volume behind them. I mean, they don't even got to be up or down percentage wise, but when the volume is there, the liquidity is there. So when you get these big moves, it can happen fast. And then I'll go look at the chart and whatever. But yeah, there's times too, and like you almost you get those like sectors almost, and that's what like
yeah,
Avax or Solana is, and like it's like a sector shift where or you go into AI, and then you go into layer ones or layer twos, and it's definitely a thing, and you can kind of like go around and kind of identify which ones you want to look for. Then I just go to the charts and I'll look for a setup and kind of take it from there. So it's a lot of factors. It's going to depend on how the market is, what Bitcoin's doing, like all those things all kind of wrapped up in one. But yeah, I mean, taking all that into consideration is definitely something.
Where is the? Never mind. I was looking for the timer, the ticker. Uh,
Time.
yeah, of how long we've been live.
Oh,
Guys, I appreciate every single one of you guys smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. We got almost 5,000 likes here on TikTok. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Hit that like, join the crusade here. We're crusading through blockchains every single day. So, guys, make sure you join that. Make sure you join the Crusader Army. Make sure you join and hit that subscribe. If you, like I said earlier, if you guys want to learn how to trade, want to learn how to chart, this is the guy right here that you're going to learn from. This is the guy I've learned from. Link is in the bio on how to join his Discord. Discord closes on April 1st. Also, if you want to subscribe here and get not one-on-one, but you get uh, private lives only for members only. That I will be answering all your questions, kind of coaching you guys through some of the stuff of your questions and what's happening in the crypto space. Definitely hit the little star next to the comment section. That's where you'll see the subscription. Hit that subscribe and become a subscriber of the Blockchain Crusading Army here. So let's freaking go. Let's see here. What else? How long have we been live for? I don't see. About 45 minutes. All right, we can go. We can go a little bit longer. If we get a few more likes, we'll go a little bit longer here, guys. What do you guys think? Clay the Great says tokenizing our assets. Avax has been tokenizing assets since before it was cool. That was one of our models for a while. Tokenize the world assets. Avax is been doing a lot. They do a lot of crypto gaming stuff. We've seen even Bank of America talking to Avax to tokenize some assets. That I've definitely. So I do agree with you, Clay. I've seen what you're talking about. Tokenizing our assets is the only thing that could possibly save the dollar, having it backed by physical gold and digital assets. That'd be a very interesting conversation. Actually, uh, re re repegging the dollar to something, to real world assets, to some type of tokenization of some of digital assets, because right now it's not really backed by anything. That's why this whole transfer of wealth or new generational shift to digital assets has really come to fruition, right? Bitcoin got launched after the '08 crash, and the market being manipulated and just being over collateralized, and the dollar just being printed into infinity. To be able to recover from that, we've discovered Bitcoin is a harder asset money that we need for these times, for rough times in general. Let's take a look at some of these other cryptos here. Let's take a look at ICP. Let's see how ICP is doing. It's another one I've been trying to keep up to date with. ICP, where you at, bro? Where you at? Well, I don't know where ICP is right now, but I know where Solana is, so I'm gonna pull this one up real quick. Let's jump over here to the daily. All right, bang,
Solana's just been a miss,
dude.
man. It's an absolute miss.
Super aggressive upward trend here since we reclaimed the $139 price level, which was the point of control of this range that we used to be in. Aggressive upward trend. Went right to the tip top value area low of the last range that we have for Solana before we start reaching new all-time highs. We hit the value area low of $210, got rejected on there, came back towards the value area high of this previous range, kind of like fiddle faddled right below it, came back above, and now we're kind of ranging between. Could potentially be ranging between. Oops, see where's my could be potentially ranging here between these two ranges until Solana decides what it wants to do. But once we cross this 211, right, we enter this upward range, which is the last range it has as a point of control of $241, and then the value area high is basically the all-time high for Solana at 250. Past that, and off to the races we go. Um, do you think Solana could, not to put you in a tight spot of like giving price predictions or anything like that, but somebody did bring up something about like how Solana could be the Ethereum of this bull run, right? We saw Ethereum go from like $8 to 1,400 back in 2017, but we had the ICO craze, right? Solana is seeing a meme coin craze, right? A lot of money has been flowing away from the ERC20 Ethereum token in meme coins because gas fees are so freaking high they're heading towards Solana. And you saw some of the meme coins I was showing you this morning that were on Solana, right? So there's a lot of narratives, a lot of little sectors of meme coins being built on Solana right now. Could Solana go anywhere near $1,000? Is that even in the potential reality?
I
Uh,
haven't looked at like market cap for what that would look like, and I know that there's market cap mafia out there where they're like
oh
sometimes
yeah,
sometimes it doesn't matter, and whatever. But yeah, like, why don't you flip that up because I'm just
yeah.
curious
I'm gonna
because
be pulling it up right here.
for me, I can at least see it doubling from where it's at now, right? Like the 450, $500 area is
We're at
definitely a
we're at
big spot for me.
$79 billion market cap right now.
79 billion right now, and what's like Ethereum at like today?
Ethereum today is
Like
like
three, four
is
hundred.
like 400 billion. Let's see here. ETH.
So that would like be like if Solana was at, and granted, you think of like if Solana's getting to those levels, Ethereum's probably at 7,500, 10,000, whatever. Um, but anyways, I guess yeah, I can see potential for $1,000, but 500 is a that window is a big one for me. But yeah, we'll definitely see how it goes. But I mean, it's possible, and especially with like Solana, potentially near. I'm not saying near will get to 1,000, but I'm just thinking
Yeah.
like market cap wise, and some of these things they start getting utilized the way that they are. Avalanche as well. Like there's some heavy hitters out there. Yeah, so it's
Yeah, at the
you
five
never
at
know,
the
but
at the $500 mark, like you said, right? It's a doubling from where we're kind of at right
totally
now.
doubling. I didn't know
It's
that
a little
it's
bit
like
more.
under 200 now. I was thinking it was still 200, but
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's a little bit more, but if we get to $500 and we kind of double up, it would be, I think, the third crypto ever to reach $100 billion market cap or higher. Because I don't think any other cryptos reached 100 billion plus. Besides, obviously, Bitcoin passed that a long time ago,
yeah,
and Ethereum has been past that a long time ago as well.
interesting.
But I believe every other crypto has been below 100 billion market cap, even at its all-time highs. I think Cardano maybe had reached like 90 billion or close to 90 billion last bull market,
Yeah,
but
interesting
nothing else
stuff. That's
has
definitely there.
taken it that high.
I mean,
So
there's going to be something that does become that third one, I'm sure. But
yeah,
yeah, no, but either way, like 500, 450, $500 is a big one for me, and that's like obviously at that point, then we can reevaluate, and that's what even still a 2 or 3x from here. Like it's pretty good stuff on a coin that on something that size, especially if you got into it earlier. Like buying today, that's where it is, right? Like the risk is obviously higher, and you got less upside potential. But if you were scooping that up at $10 and $12, and obviously it was at 8 for a hot minute, but
yep.
I would imagine that most people that picked it up at the low area was like 10 and 12 area. Um, that's big. That's 30, 40, 50x just to get to $100 or $500. So that's a win.
Yeah, a lot of people are asking about this book of memes, right? It came out of nowhere, launched, skyrocketed, freaking market cap hit over $1 billion. I think it's pulled back since then a little bit, but it did reach over $1 billion market cap. My personal thoughts on this is this was an orchestrated inorganic move, right? Out of nowhere, a bunch of exchanges started listing this thing um, right off the rip. And obviously, they had a pre-sale. When you do a pre-sale for a meme coin, you can launch the meme coin at absolutely whatever market cap you want because you already accumulated all the funds. And then when you provide liquidity for the very first time for the token to be tradable, you're pretty much choosing the market cap, right? So if you raise a few hundred Solana, maybe even a few thousand Solana, whatever it was that was raised, you choose how much you want to put that into the liquidity, creating the market cap yourself. So it created a high inorganic market cap, in my personal opinion. And then somehow these other exchanges were already rocking and rolling, ready to list this thing and have it pump even higher. And obviously, since then, it's pulled back. I personally will not be getting into book of memes. I dibble dabble here on meme coins here and there, but the only ones that I really stick to are Kakadoodle, Kakinu, and Kimbo. Just because I've been talking
Kimbo.
about, it's the dog coin of Avax, right? It's been doing pretty well. I think it can reach like 100 mil market cap, not too much more than that. It's topped out around 45 mil market cap in the recent past in the last rally. Kakinu went all the way up to like 300 something mil, maybe 400 mil, and since then it's pulled back again as well. but I think it could reach a, if there was a meme coin on Avax that could reach $1 billion, because no Avax meme coin has ever reached $1 billion, I think Kakinu would be it. They have no major listings like the other meme coins do, and it's definitely got way better branding and way better memes than any of the other ones do. So if there's one that could make it, I think personally it could be that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. um, What do you personally think about the meme coin, man? Do you trade the meme coins? Like you try to trade some meme coin action? We know we had Floki, Bonk, some of the bigger market
the
cap ones that are a
the
little bit
the
more
memes
stable.
to me, man, are just I've never gotten into them, man. I know that like I'm sure I know I've missed opportunities and this and that, but there's just been like so many where getting into these things like before, just takes so much like I don't know. It's just like anything in life, right? You don't have so much time to focus on
Yeah,
some things. So like I build charts on other assets that are on exchanges that I have access to quickly, like building wallets and like shooting things around to like dexes and all that, like to get some of these things when it like before it really gets big. It's just never really been my thing. And then even when they do hit exchanges and all that, I feel like it's kind of like too late, or it's just so whipsawy that you might catch a Shiba, but like a lot of things, I just don't feel like I really end up like that. And then at the same time, you got Bohm or whatever and Bonk that are like 200-300%, or Pepe's up like 600%.
yeah,
I
yeah,
just it's not for me.
yeah, yeah.
But there's a like yourself, like you got the time and you can put in the information. You can kind of designate that time for like some research and look into them. And obviously they're meme coins, so I hope you know what you're getting into with that. But there's
The
definitely money.
gambling, right?
There's definitely
Rolling
money
the
to be
dice.
made. Yeah, like you can turn, and that's the way it should be treated as. Even like taking small money to like potentially. If you're looking at like something that you think is going to 50x or 100x, that's not where you put your whole portfolio. That's where you put like $1,000 that you can totally piss away that might turn into 50K or 100K, and then you can put
Yes.
that into something that is more viable. But yeah, it's not necessarily my bag. Doge is one that I trade actively, but it's a little bit less crazy than these things. Um, but yeah, I mean, I pay attention for them. I'll look. I know Bonk and Bohm are the only two I've really looked at recently, but yeah, some wild west stuff for sure.
Yeah, dude, the last thing I'm gonna hit here before we sign off is AXGT, Axon DAO. Decentralized science is the new sector that's coming up in the crypto space. I talk about it almost in all my live streams. Uh, the fact that it's a newer sector, that it's decentralized science. We saw what happened with centralized science back in the fog around the world. If you know, you know, right? If you survived that era, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I was
Uh,
not there. I wasn't born then.
yeah, then
Not
you're
gonna
not
understand.
watching
Not
the
gonna understand anything we say.
you're not watching this stream anyways. But most of you guys survived that era, right? If you're still here, and you guys know what happened with all the centralized science around that situation. Decentralized science is targeting to be able to fund projects, fund science in a decentralized manner, and really grow with AI capabilities because they partner up with NVIDIA and they're doing a lot of stuff with AI and just like being able to fund all these science projects through their DAO. So I think decentralized science. There's different decentralized science projects that are targeting different things. There's one that's called like Athena DAO. Is like based on like it's focused on like science for like women. That's mainly focused for women. There's one called like Hair DAO, focusing on fixing people that are balding and trying to keep their hair.
Hair down.
Yeah, there's another one called like Vita Lake, I think it's called, which is pretty good. There's a Genome that's like doing all kind of genome stuff. Uh, there's a few other ones there. It's a small sector, but Binance, CZ, and Binance have been tweeting about decentralized science and about how they're, that could be a little foreshadowing into getting some major listings, right? Because right now you don't really find any of these decentralized science projects on any major centralized exchanges at all. They're still based on all like pretty much Uniswap and dexes pretty much. So if Binance does begin to list these decentralized science projects, I think it could be very big, right? Just like real world assets is a new sector, Bitcoin ecosystem and DeFi on Bitcoin is a new sector this time around. I've been keeping an eye on these new sectors, and I think decentralized science can do very well. And this crypto, Axon DAO, literally launched over on February 24th, and since then, dude, it is freaking gone up three 31,000%. Is that right? Yeah, 31,000% since it launched. I mean, it's been a wild ride for this. and it's just an earlier on. But guys, I appreciate every single one of you guys joining in here, smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe if you haven't already, crusading through the blockchains, right here with us, right? Our boy CVO Crypto, teaching you guys about TA. If you want to learn anything about TA, make sure you join the link in the bio and join his Discord. The Discord is closing to new members on April 1st.
We do
So,
have a free week trial if you guys want
oh,
to try
that's
it out.
right.
If you don't like it, then whatever. But I'm going to be closing it off to newcomers on April 1st. So it's going to be a pretty exclusive little boutique going forward.
Yeah, I saw your question about Produce AI. I'm gonna hit it here real quick. Produce Produce AI, right? It's been going down steadily. I'm under on my position. I got in around 5 mil market cap. It went pretty high up to 18 mil, and since then it came back down. Why is it coming down right now? I don't freaking know, right? I don't know. This was a high risk play for me. I just jumped into it. They have real life utility. It reminds me of VeChain with like supply management, sending real produce around the world. So I jumped into it, been talking about it for a little bit. Is it going to recover? I hope so. It's a long term play. If it doesn't, then it is what it is. It's the high risk play, the micro cap crypto, right? So if you want those massive gains, you need to take some massive risk, and that's what I did here with this crypto. Then, like I threw a giant portion of my portfolio at it, just threw a few $100 at it, see what it can do, and then last but not least, I saw somebody else also ask about Syncus DAO. Syncus is another DeFi play with a flywheel effect. So the whole thing is about buying it, staking it, and making more money as much as you can with it. It's back up at 128 mil market cap, having a slow little recovery here. Let's jump out to the daily, right? Had a massive run up as well. Came all the way out as high as like close to 300 something, almost 400 mil market cap. Has had a 70 something percent pullback since then. Right here, you can see here. 75% pullback since then, kind of been going sideways and recovering a little bit since then. But back here, these two little bumps, right? We did something very similar back here too, where we had these major 74% drawbacks, right? 69, 74%. It took 16 days to recover. Then we did the same thing down here as well. Took 22 days to recover, 70% drop as well. So I think it can recover, but I don't like their unstaking fee. They implemented a 40% unstaking fee, which I think is total BS, and they need to like undo that to be able to regain confidence on this crypto. But that's all I got for you guys today. I appreciate every single one of you guys crusading through the blockchains here, right, on YouTube, on TikTok. Make sure if you're on TikTok and you're not subscribed to the YouTube, make sure you jump on over to YouTube, Blockchain Crusader, hit that subscribe, hit the Discord, and learn how to trade, guys. It can change your life. So until next time, see ya.
Next up.
Next time on Blockchain Crusader. Let me see. We're